So I'm going to start on this side of the worksheet. It says find the slope of each line. We are also going to tell if it's positive, negative, 0, or undefined. And we're going to be using rise over run and then checking it with y minus y over x minus x. So first thing that you should notice is this line is going down. So we know that the slope is going to be negative. Next, I'm going to do rise over run. So to get from this point to this point, I'm going to rise up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It's going to put me right there. So my rise is 7. And then anytime you go left, that's essentially like going backwards, which is the same thing as being negative. So that's where we're going to get the negative number. So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's actually going to be a negative 9, and that cannot be simplified. And then to check it, first I have to label my points, and I'm going to do this in red. So this is the point. Remember, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. Remember, when you're writing your ordered pairs, that x comes first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we went down 1, 2, 3, so that's a negative 3. And then this is negative, so negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And positive because we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So finally, I'm going to do y minus y over x minus x to find the slope, and I should end up with this same answer. So just checking my answer, taking the y's, 4 minus negative 3 over, and we have to go in the same order. So since this was my first number, this should be my first number. So x minus x. Now be careful with your negatives. Remember, this is keep, change, change. So keep, make this a plus, make this a positive. And then down here it would be keep, change, change. So keep, make this a plus, make this a negative. And then finally 4 plus 3 is 7. Negative 5 plus negative 4 is negative 9. So they match, so we know we're good to go. So my slope is 7 over negative 9. Okay, moving to number 2. First thing I notice, it's positive because it's going upwards. So I should get a positive number. My rise over run is going to be up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and that could simplify to 2 over 3. Now go ahead and see if you can get your points and do y over y minus x, come back to check. Okay, so the first thing that you should have done is found your points. So this point is positive 3, and then this point is negative 3 over negative 1. If you didn't get your points correct, go back and recheck, because if you don't have the points correct, there's no way your slope's going to be correct. From there, I took my y's, so this y, and I subtracted them. So 3 minus negative 1. Do keep, change, change. It's going to change it to 3 plus 1, which is 4. Then I took my x's. 3 minus negative 3. Keep, change, change. Makes it positive 6. And simplify. Moving to number 3. First thing is it's going down, so we know it's going to be negative. Go ahead and do your rise over run. So it's going up 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And the run is going backwards, so it's negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So the slope should end up being 4 over negative 5. Pause, see if you can do it, and come back to check. Make sure to show your work. Okay, go ahead and check your work. One thing I do want to point out to you is Notice when I did my subtraction, I ended up with a -4 and a +5, whereas over here I got +4 and -5. So the negatives were in two different spots. But remember, really, that negative just goes with the whole fraction. So both of these actually just mean -4 fifths. The negative is going with the 4 and the 5. So it doesn't matter if you put it at the top or the bottom. It means the same thing. Okay, going ahead and going with number 4. It's going downward, so it's going to be negative. Rise over run, so start down here. It's going up 1 time. And that would put me here. It's going over and it's going backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be a -4. Go ahead and pause, see if you can do the y minus y over x minus x. Come back to check. Okay, one thing I do want to point out here is a lot of the times students get confused when we have a 0 as one of the ordered pairs. So remember, I always start at the origin. I didn't go over at all, so that's why the x is at 0. And then I went down 1. That's why it's -1. Over here, I started by going over 4 times. So that's where the -4 comes from. But then I didn't go up or down, which is why that one's 0. So make sure your points are correct. If you have questions about this one, go ahead and raise your hand. I'm moving on to number 5. On this one, it's going upward, so that's going to be positive. Rise over run would be up 1, 2 times. That puts me here, and moving over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 2 fifths. Go ahead and pause. Do your y over y, x over x. Okay, on this one I want to point out this is my y minus y, x minus x. And I know a lot of you are still getting your negatives mixed up. So I wanted to show you the keep, change. So I kept the first one, changed it to a plus, changed to a positive. Kept the first one, changed the subtraction to a positive, changed the -3 to a positive. From there, my signs are different, so I get, so I subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2, and then go ahead and add. If you have questions on this one, please let me know. Moving to number 6, this line is going down, so it's going to be negative. Start with the bottom point always. I should have mentioned that before, but I always start with the bottom point, and that helps me do rise over run. That way I can count how many I am rising up. If you start with the top point, it's not going to work that way. So rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And right over 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It's going backwards. And remember, I don't want to mix number, but I can simplify by putting 2 into both of those numbers. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into -4 -2 times. Go ahead and try your y minus y, x minus x. Come back to check. Okay, again, go ahead and check your work. If you have questions, let me know. Moving to number 7. On number 7, this is going down, so it's going to be negative. And start with the bottom point, doing rise over run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would put me here, running over -1 times, so we can simplify that to -5. Go ahead and try y minus y over x minus x. Okay, again, go ahead and check your work. If you have questions, let me know. On number 8, remember that if something is straight up and down, it's not sloping. Sloping means slanting. So if it's not sloping, that's a slope of 0. And just to show you, the rise would be 1, 2, 3. And it didn't run at all. So that would equal 0. Also, you can show your points. So this would be 0, 0. So -1 over 0. And so -1, 1, 2, 3, and -3. And to show you real quick, y minus y over x minus x. Okay, in both cases we get 0. So your job is to go to the front of the page. You're going to be counting the rise over run and then finding the slope. So y minus y over x minus x. Make sure to also see if it's positive, negative, or undefined before you find the slope. And you can come back once you are finished with each row to check. So go ahead and try questions 1, 2, and 3. Come back when you're done to check. You can pause the video, check your answers, and raise your hand if you have any questions. Go ahead and try questions 4, 5, and 6. Okay, go ahead and check here 4, 5, and 6. If you have questions, let me know. Go ahead and try 7, 8, and 9. And check your last 3 answers. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, check the board to see what to do next.